on the past successes in the era of artificial intelligence. The theme provides us with a unique opportunity to reflect on our accomplishment as we delve into the possibilities that lies ahead. As we embark on this deliberative journey, it is essential to acknowledge and appreciate the remarkable strides made by departments and directorates of Hansard and other services in our legislatures and institutions. We have continued to provide accurate and timely records of parliamentary proceedings and enabled transparency and accountability in our democratic spaces. It is through these diligent efforts that we have preserved the rich history of our legislatures. At this juncture, allow me to extend my sincere gratitude to the Clerk of the National Assembly, the Clerk of the Senate, the Society of Clerks at the Table of Information known as SOCATT, the Clerk of Nakuru, the two directors of Hansard and Other Services, National Assembly and the Senate, and all the legislatures and institutions represented here for the unwavering support and collaboration in making this conference a reality. I would also like to express my heartfelt appreciation to our esteemed keynote speakers, locally and internationally, who have graciously accepted our invitation to share their insights and expertise. Your presence here today is a demonstration of your commitment towards advancing the principles of inclusivity, transparency, and accountability in parliamentary work. I cannot forget to thank the entire HAC Executive Committee. I commend them for their tireless effort in organizing this conference. It is through our dedication and passion that we have been able to bring together delegates from various legislatures and institutions. Our steadfast commitment to the values of HAC has played a significant role in shaping the success of this event. Finally, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I extend my warm welcome to all our delegates from different country assemblies, regional parliaments, and other institutions. Your presence enriches the diversity and knowledge sharing that is essential for the growth and progression of our profession. As we navigate the realms of artificial intelligence, I'm confident that this conference will serve as a catalyst for future collaboration and partnership, ultimately enhancing the work we do. We will together explore innovative ways to leverage our past successes, embrace the era of artificial intelligence, and pave way for a brighter future. The program of the conference is rich. We will dedicate time to review the instruments of our association, especially the proposed constitution that will chart the direction of this association. We will have a chance to deliberate on other core issues that will shape our association for a brighter future. With those few remarks, With those few remarks, I thank you for listening to me and wish you a fruitful and interesting deliberation. It's now my pleasure to invite the Director, Hansard and Services, National Assembly, Madam Njoroge. Welcome.
Good morning, colleagues. Am I audible? You can hear me? All right. The Deputy Clerk, National Assembly, Ms. Serah Kioko. The Clerk, Machakos County, Mr. Dennis Mutui. Colleagues from regional parliaments, we have Hansard Editor, Parliament of Uganda, a Hansard editor, Yala, our resource persons, camp facilitators, directors and deputy directors from the National Parliament, colleagues from the county assemblies, and colleagues from the National Assembly and Senate, good morning. It is with great pleasure that I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to the 6th Annual Conference of the Hansard Association of Kenya. As we gather here, today we embark on a journey of exploration, collaboration, and innovation in the realm of legislative processes and beyond. Over the next few days, we have the unique opportunity to engage in thought-provoking discussions, exchanges of invaluable insights, and foster meaningful connections with fellow participants who share our passion for excellence in what we do, and that is production of Hansard reports. The theme of this year's conference, leveraging on past successes in the era of artificial intelligence, underscores the pivotal moment we find ourselves in. In a world increasingly shaped by technological advancements, it is imperative that we, as custodians of parliamentary proceedings, adapt and embrace the transformative power of artificial intelligence while drawing wisdom from our collective experiences. Over the next several days, the program promises to be both enlightening and enriching. From insightful keynote addresses to thought-provoking panel discussions, interactive sessions, and practical activities, the agenda is designed to delve deep into the intricacies of Hansard production, parliamentary procedures, staff wellness, language use, and integration of artificial technologies. Throughout this conference, we have the privilege of engaging with esteemed experts from diverse fields, each offering a unique perspective and invaluable sights. Together, we will explore the implications of digitalization on legislative oversight, delve into the future of legislatures in the age of artificial intelligence, celebrate our milestones, and tackle the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead of us. But beyond the exchange of knowledge and ideas, this conference serves as a testament to strengthen our community, which is the Hansard family. It is a platform for forging meaningful connections, nurturing collaborations, and fostering a spirit of friendship that transcends geographical boundaries. I extend my deepest appreciation to each and every one of you for gracing this conference with your presence. I would also like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt appreciation to the dedicated members of the Executive Council who have worked tirelessly to conceptualize and execute this program. Thank you, and may this conference be a source of inspiration, enlightenment, and empowerment for all of us. Thank you very much. So I take this opportunity to invite the Hansard Senate, so they forgot. We invite those who can ask before we move to the program. Welcome, Clerk.
Good morning, colleagues. I hope I can be heard. The Deputy Clerk, Ms. Serah Kioko, the Deputy Clerk of the National Assembly, the Clerk of Machakos County Assembly, Mr. Dennis Mutui, our honorable resource persons available today, colleague directors and deputy directors from the
National Parliament of Kenya, the HAC President, Mr. George Wanyoko, and the Executive Committee of HAC. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates, good morning again. No. It is a wonderful time to have all of you here and to see that we are marking the 6th Hansard Association of Kenya conference since its inception several years ago. Indeed, I echo the remarks of the President, Mr. George Wanyoko, that this is one of the most important events in the calendar of a Hansard and Audio Association professional in our various legislatures. The Hansard Association of Kenya has come a long way, and I'm proud to be associated with it. It is an event that brings together Hansard and audio services professionals in the various legislatures to network and generally to look into what the future holds for us. The number 7 is associated with many good things. It is associated with growth, completion, and fullness. And next year, this association will hit the 7-year mark. How we number 7 will be determined right here at this conference. It is my prayer that by the end of these 5 days that we'll be here, we will chart the association to a path of maturity. The association mirrors the Commonwealth Hansard Editors Association, both Africa region and international. And I'm aware that the current HAC Executive Committee is working tirelessly to ensure that the instruments of the association are in place, in particular, the constitution and even registration of this association officially, so that it is recognized by the government as a professional body, something that is not currently the case. So your approval of the constitution will allow us to have a well-defined membership, activities, and plans. No association is static. It keeps evolving. So let us utilize this forum and the brilliant minds available here to share ideas on how to propel this association to the future. We'll not be here without the intentional approval by the leadership of our various legislatures. And that is why I must end my brief remarks by thanking the clerks of the legislatures for their support to the departments and directorates of Hansard and Audio Services in our various jurisdictions. And I would especially like to acknowledge the clerks of the National Assembly and Senate for their unwavering support for this association that has ensured that the funds are made available to have our association conference every year. And as I conclude, I'd like to urge all of us to participate in all the activities of the conference and take this opportunity to get to know our colleagues, get to network, and build bridges across our various departments and directorates. It is now my great honor and pleasure to welcome the Clerk of Machakos County Assembly, Mr. Dennis Mutui, to address this gathering on behalf of the SOCATT Kenya branch. Welcome, Mr. Clerk.
Deputy Clerk, National Assembly, Madam Serah Kioko, President HAC, Mr. George Wanyoko, Vice President HAC, Louis Keter, Directors of Hansard and Audio Services of the National Assembly and the Senate, other directors, deputy directors, editors from various county assemblies, delegates from Ugandan Parliament, Tanzanian Parliament, IALA, Judiciary, facilitators, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Morning. My name is Dennis Mutui, Clerk, County Assembly of Machakos, representing my chair, Mr. Aidi, who is the clerk, Kirinyaga, was not able to come. And mine is very simple, to just make brief remarks and invite our deputy clerk, National Assembly, to give the keynote speech. Before I do that, I must say, Mr. President, I'm a happy clerk this morning because we began this journey back in 2013, 2014, our first training of the Hansard team being at Ruiru, a hotel called Rainbow, very dusty place. And out of it, we came up with the idea of going to Mombasa to launch this conference. Madam Serah, by then I was Clerk Kwale, and later on became Chair SOCATT. I actually handed over to Aidi, and that's why I feel honored to represent him today here as the Chair SOCATT. And seeing how you have grown and the strides that you have made, I'm very excited. And I want to challenge the leadership, the Executive Council, together with the editors, to keep on pushing. And I'm glad to hear that there are plans to register you so that you can be legally registered. I can assure you from the SOCATT side, we are supporting you and running with you because we believe that the Hansard department is critical in the management of the proceedings of the assembly. And later on, Deputy Clerk, I know you might or might not be around. I'll be interacting with us briefly, sharing the experiences that we have in Machakos, having established an assembly broadcasting unit, and the things that we have done and the things that we want to do. And purely this is not for anything, but so that we can share experiences and help us become better. And so I'm so grateful for this privilege and opportunity. And I want to mention here that as clerks, we support the Hansard department and we will keep on supporting you. I know there are few challenges of funding, buying equipments, and all those things, and even issues of staffing. And we are seized of the matter. If you remember, we did a very good scheme of service, and that I think at some point we may want to revisit it so that we can look at the staffing levels of the Hansard department and look at the equipments that our teams need, because Madam Deputy, you visit some of our county assemblies and you realize these officers are really working under very, very interesting circumstances and conditions. But we believe that with time, as we continually engage with the necessary agencies, we'll be able to make the department more vibrant and better equipped for better performance. And I want to appreciate the team, the executive team, for coming up with a very interesting theme for this conference, because we need to start thinking about the artificial intelligence and how we can integrate it. For those who have had opportunities to go to other countries, you notice that countries are investing heavily on artificial intelligence. And I was just thinking, Bwana President, now that we have 48 hours within which to produce the Hansard transcribed report with the, entry of artificial intelligence, we can be able to do it faster than that if we embrace technology and be able to do some of these things in a more efficient way. So allow me to stop there. I will engage with us later. And it is now my singular privilege and honor to invite the Deputy Clerk, National Assembly, to come and give their key address. Can we stand and appreciate her?
It's okay. 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 Thank you very much, colleagues.
I don't know how to begin, and I was asking the president how to begin this remark, whether to begin by acknowledging the or to begin by acknowledging the president, whichever way. So may I begin therefore by acknowledging the presence of the president of HAC and my classmate, Mr. George Wanyoko, together with your committee. And I then follow by acknowledging the presence of our editors, our very able Hansard editors, Ms. Gladys and Ms. Wamboy. And now if there is any other editor present with us, I acknowledge your presence this morning. Then I acknowledge the presence of my friend, Dennis. It's a pleasure to see you today. I also want to acknowledge the presence of our colleagues from our sister parliaments within the East African community, the colleagues from Yala, colleagues from the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania, our colleagues from our sister parliament of Uganda. I also want to acknowledge our colleagues from the judiciary and from the National Land Commission, and our friends, I want to call them tireless friends. Zalendo, we acknowledge you and the work that you are doing. I want to acknowledge our distinguished resource persons today. And I also want to acknowledge colleagues from the various parliaments, starting the National Parliament and the county legislatures, and anyone else that may not be within that cluster. I acknowledge you today, and I say good morning. On behalf of the Parliament of Kenya, and on my own behalf, and indeed on behalf of the Clerk of the National Assembly, I am gratified and privileged to address you on this auspicious occasion of the opening of the 6th Annual Conference of the Hansard Association of Kenya. As the Parliament of Kenya, we are thrilled to have the opportunity to host this very unique event once again. I have not participated in HAC before, and this is the 6th time, and what a privilege to be here today with you. This has been said, and I want to repeat, that this is an avenue, colleagues, to share our experiences as staff of the legislature, as we endeavor to facilitate legislators in carrying out their constitutional roles, as well as strengthening accountability and transparency of legislatures, which is a responsibility that the citizens are owed by the legislators. To our delegates from the Greater East African community, karibuni sana. We are glad that you came to be with us. The importance of the Hansard, I normally don't like standing in one place, but now you put it. Can I remove it? Yeah. So the importance of the Hansard cannot be overemphasized. The importance of the Hansard Directorate cannot be overemphasized. You who are seated here, especially national parliament, know that once and every time we keep running to you to say, please give me a copy of the Hansard. Somebody has said something and they have denied that they have said it, and the only way we can verify is by use of the Hansard. So the importance of the Hansard cannot be overemphasized. It is such an important function in the institution of parliament. In fact, I'm surprised these days. I went to a Keopa meeting the other day, and they were asking, where is the Hansard? And I was like, Hansard in a Keopa meeting again. Keopa is the Association of Women Legislators. at the National Legislature. And I went to a GAF meeting, the meeting of the women reps, the 47 women reps. They were starting to differ. And they wondered what the ministry that is responsible for the funds that takes care of the issues of the women legislators who represent the disadvantaged gender, that is women. They wanted to hear what the ministry was saying, and they wanted it on record. So they asked me again, where is the Hansard? And I was like, it will be announced in the budget cycle, or the staff of the Hansard are in the committee scrutinizing the budget. And they're like, next meeting, we need the Hansard. And I'm just telling you the importance of the Hansard to the legislature cannot be overemphasized. Indeed, the Hansard is a msema kweli. That is the one that cuts away every doubt. So you are key in your legislatures at the county level, at the national level, at the supranational level, within the region and worldwide. The Hansard is a key organ. But need to pull together is equally important, because working in the legislature, and I was talking to one of our colleagues from Kilifi as we were greeting each other as I was coming in. And he just says, you know, mambo ya siasa. So we face mambo ya siasa, all of us. And so we need to come together, discuss, and find that what is happening in Machakos is not very unique from what is happening in Kirinyaga. So do not find it as if it is something very uncommon that is happening to you. We can only discover this when we come together. And what you thought was a big problem, somebody from Kericho, somebody from Baringo, will come up with a solution. I keep getting called by colleagues from the county, some I've never seen. And I know the clerk of the county assembly of Kericho calls me a number of times. We've never met one-on-one. She keeps asking me, this is happening. How do you go about it yourselves? And I can ask that to my brother Dennis. How are you doing this in Machakos? The other day, our own staff went all the way to Makueni, and they went all the way to Baringo, I think, to look at the Hansard, to look at the system, the chamber system. What members use when they are speaking. Because the one in Makueni and the one in Baringo is more modern than the one in the National Parliament. So we borrow from each other. Even the big brother can borrow from the younger brother. The younger brother has become of age. Clerk Machakos is just telling me that they are now in the process of, or have you established a broadcasting unit? So you are growing, and we need each other. We need to discuss our ideas. And that has been said by the Hansard editors ahead of me. So such is this conference. It's a very unique avenue to share experiences and to learn together and to grow together. And looking at the program, which I have looked at, I noticed some very, very good topics in the program. I noticed that there will be a discussion on language use in Parliament, publishing the Hansard, staff wellness at the workplace, which is very important. And then the opportunity even to share experiences about family. Experiences is not about what you might be the one, you might think you are the only one encountering challenges at family level. We are all doing it. So let's share experiences and see how to help each other. And very importantly, what are the developments that are happening within the Hansard circles? And how do we develop a curriculum that answers to the needs of a dynamic world where the Hansard plays a key role? And of course, the place of the Hansard in this time of artificial intelligence in the world. And colleagues, allow me to spend a little bit of time to delve into the topic of the place of the Hansard in the AI world. I'm not an expert, I'm not speaking on this, but it got me thinking when I saw this. This animal called AI is here with us already, and it cannot be wished away. It reminds me of the words of somebody called Victor Hugo, who said, "You can resist an invading army, but you cannot resist an idea whose time has come." So the idea of AI has come and is here with us. It is irresistible. It is unstoppable. And there is no denying that the AI is the most powerful technology of our times. Happily, this meeting that you are having today is a meeting of great minds and great individuals who are prepared to face and change with the changing times occasioned by AI. But for me, I was just thinking about AI and a question came to my mind. What does AI mean for you and I as employees of the legislature? I was speaking to a friend last night, not about this conference. This friend of mine works for an international organization, and she told me how she no longer sees the need for a TV. Those of you who were born a little earlier know how important the TV has been. Even a radio. I don't know whether anybody carries a radio anymore. Whether families have radios. Radios have been phased out. And TVs may become extinct very soon. And she was telling me, I don't need a TV because my phone is enough. And she told me she never goes to the office anymore. She works for an international organization. It is based in South Africa. And she produces results. And she told me how they no longer need to write minutes. Clerks, clerks in committees, your expertise is writing minutes. AI now is writing minutes. AI, she told me, is able to distinguish the participants in the room and summarize what the president, for example, has said. And do very good notes. AI, she told me, is able to transcribe very well into various languages. English, Arabic, Kiswahili, French, Portuguese. That was somebody who was telling me yesterday. So they deploy the AI to translate and to transcribe all documents into various languages. And it started getting into my nerves. If it is preparing reports and writing minutes and making summaries, so what am I supposed to be doing? Then I remember I'm a student of literature, and I remember one day I read a book, an African short anthology. There was a story about a South African during the apartheid time. And this South African got very worried because he was employed by Mzungu. His work was to take care of cows. And the Mzungu, after the invention of machines that could milk, he bought the machine to milk. And the man got to a point and held his head and now knew his job is on the somo imeenda. Huh? Then he prayed, that is in that book, that there would never come a machine that can go to the cow pen, open the cow pen, bring the cattle out of the cow pen, take them for grazing, and bring them back and lock them up. And I put myself in the shoes of that man last night. I saw myself at the TV, which was very important, but now it's no longer important. And I'm speaking to us. You are very key in that department. What is the IT portending for all of us? Are we able to transform from being the TV to being packaged within an iPhone? Are we fluid enough to change with the changing times? That is a question we must ask ourselves. That is a discussion we must carry on here in this conference. What are the recommendations we need to take out of this conference to our boards, county assembly boards, for training of staff to embrace AI? What recommendations would you come up with for the Parliamentary Service Commission to train the staff of the Hansard and indeed the staff of Parliament to embrace AI so that we change and fit in the circumstances that are coming because they are here with us? I am so delighted that we'll have some discourse on how to get equipped to embrace and leverage on AI so we do not need to be alarmed by the coming of the AI, like that person in South Africa who saw the milking machine and wondered whether it was going to also take cattle for grazing, bring them back. We need not get alarmed. We just need to prepare to embrace what is happening, to embrace technological advancement. It will continue changing. If you use this phone, I don't know, now we are in series what of the iPhone? Is it 16? Just like last year also it was 14, now it is 16. So if you race after it, it's like a goose chase. You need to package yourself so that you are able to cope. Otherwise, things are changing. I think iPhone 10 now you can't even find the spare parts anywhere if you are the kind of person like me who keeps repairing your phone. So we prepare to change with technology. So we must therefore be ready as Hansard officers to embrace artificial intelligence. And as I have said, I'm hoping that part of your recommendation will zero around, so how do we train, how do we prepare as staff of Parliament to do this? I'm aware that a team of our officers visited Parliament, one of the parliaments in the world, Parliament of Estonia, a country that has greatly embraced ICT. They went on a benchmarking trip to look at the Hansard production that uses AI. I was attending a meeting last week with the Clerk of the Senate, and I remember him asking me, from what we are hearing about AI, will we still need transcribers? I remember him asking me that question. But if Estonia still has staff, all we need to do is to change with changing times. And the Hansard editors will tell you when we came, there was something called a typewriter. There was no computer. I can't remember. It wasn't a computer then. Then the computers came and there were few. I remember I used to come to Wanjiro in the Hansard, and she was very helpful. If you want to type something, we didn't have computers. She would type for us. Then came a time and we were trained on how to use the computer. Now, you don't even need you don't need a desktop. Those days there were no laptops. Laptops came, laptops were made obsolete by iPads. Now, I don't know, tablets. Now we only need this. This is my office. I can do anything using this one. Because times are changing, and so we need to change with the time. So we want to, I hope we'll be able to hear from our colleagues on what happens there and how do we prepare therefore to embrace this new concept called artificial intelligence. I know that it is possible for us to prepare and get ready to embrace this new dimension. There are many merits. Please don't hear me talking about cows and get scared. There are many merits of using automated technology for transcription. First of all, it reduces the work. You know the turnaround time that you use to do your work. And when I was listening to the president, he said that you need to produce timely and accurate reports of the Hansard. So the one for timely, and I believe accurate, with your input, you know that's where you come in now. Because you have to look at these documents, otherwise, garbage in. So you have to really shepherd the process, and that is what you need to prepare so that you are able to shepherd whatever is produced through AI. And therefore, as Anne said, we must embrace innovation and enable innovators among us to experiment and help us to include AI in the workplace. We should never, and I stand here on behalf of the Office of the Clerk, and our Clerk is also here. We should never, and it is not the intention of any employer to stifle innovation. Because if you stifle innovation, it's like you're digging the grave of that institution. And so we should never stifle such minds, innovative minds, as our future will keep on evolving with each passing day. And I want to allay the fears that AI is coming to replace anybody's job. The place of human creativity. Remember, AI is a creation of a human being. The place of human creativity and the thinking, there is a cliche called thinking outside the box, can never be taken by a machine. There was a time people never used to sit on seats. You know that? Then somebody innovated a three-legged stool. Another one went ahead and came up with this chair. Another one came up with a sofa. Another one came up. Those are human beings. So AI cannot advance alone. And that is why we need to think ahead of AI so that we become the masters of AI and make AI serve us and not the other way around. I've really dwelt on this, but I think it is important because it will have so many benefits, but we must be able to harness it for our own, it becomes we become its master, and so that it doesn't master us, but we master it ourselves. So moving away from the AI, as I alluded earlier, I would like to continue to underscore the importance and the significance of Hansard reports in the execution of a legislature's mandate. Right now, your output, and I'm sure Gladys and you know this, and all of you, your output is not only consumed by members of parliament, it is consumed by the judiciary, it is consumed by the international community. In fact, I think Muzalendo also uses a lot of the Hansard reports to do their work, or the civil society. It is a useful document, not just for parliamentary use, but for other institutions. So please remember, this is a very important document. So it behoves you as officers to always ensure veracity of the documents that you produce. And I've said that to bring it closer, I'm sure you are not strangers to the fact that the judiciary is using our reports. Even when we take a bill for assent, we put the vellum, we put there the Hansard. First we send it to the AG to verify, then before we send it to the president to assent. Because Hansard ndiyo itasema, kulisemwaje, Hansard both audio and the printed. So the veracity of your work is very important, but also the timeliness. And I think that is where we now need to synergize with AI to do our work. You know, I have served quite a while as a legislative officer, and I know how closely we have worked with the Hansard Directorate. I know there are many times when I'm at the table and I'm under immense pressure to produce the Hansard of a sitting that is going on. Can I have this Hansard? Somebody has said something unparliamentary, and they have said they haven't said it, I said it. And then I have to rush to Anne, I have to rush to Gladys to get a raw copy and bring it to the speaker at the table. And therefore, we can barely move. And I know Clerk, you can attest to this. We can barely move as a legislature in the absence of the Hansard. We make the phone calls, we jangle, we need the Hansard more than anything else. And this is, I think this is that what happens in Uganda? And in Tanzania? And in Yala? Yeah. I know we have a bit of discussion on language today. Language use in parliament is very key. And I was just thinking about the Kenyanese link. You know, we have our own legal, crazy legal. I hope it is not part of the answer. Please let it not be. Huh? You know me, I am sad. You know that? Aki is not fair. You know that? Things for ground. Yeah? To bet. Yeah? As in, I'm just mentioning but a few. Now, that is not English. That is Chinese lingo. I don't know in Uganda what it is, but I imagine there is in Uganda. I imagine there is in Tanzania. I'm not sure about Yala, because Yala is a mixture of all of us. So how do we want to handle language going forward? Thank God there is a topic speaking to language. And let me not go to Nigeria in West Africa. I want to urge us to stick to English, to stick to Swahili, to stick to language as provided for in the Constitution. If we get to sign language, let's stick to this. Let's not talk about Bizna. There is nothing called Bizna. There is nothing. Don't change how to write thank you and thanks. Putting X. There is no X in thanks. Let's just stick to language, and I'm sure somebody will help us with this. Colleagues, let us remember that we must work collegially. I urge us to work collegially. We cannot work alone. Let's work together. Let's embrace tenacity. Our work is challenging, and I know there is a topic on wellness. Being a Hansard officer is not a walk in the park. Sit long hours, develop back problems. These days we hear somebody has just gone home, from the office, and the following day they are not there. So meaning we are not well. So as we work, we also need to take care of ourselves. And I know tomorrow we'll speak to this, so let me not go into it. There's so much you need to do to take care of yourself. Because when you are not there, you are not there. So let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of our health so that we'll be able to work. Find somebody you can talk to. Don't live in isolation. The mountain that kills you may be somebody that some of us are surmounted. And if you shared with them, you would have been helped. So find time, even as we deliberate on this topic, to work. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I've heard, and I've also heard from Gladys, and indeed the President, that this association is not a registered association. I hope one of the deliverables of this meeting will be ensuring that this association becomes registered and this association is strengthened so that together you can do better. Senor, I want to promise on behalf of the clerk that you have our support. I remember when this proposal came, the first thing was there is no money. I'm sure there is no money. There is no money. For sure. I was like, surely. We've been postponing, Clerk. We postponed January. We postponed in February. We can't postpone again. So what do we do? Then he said, I know what I will do. I will shorten a number of workshops. So, and then borrow money from those directorates. So that if you ask for a 5-day workshop, you are given 2 or 3. So the remaining 2, if we say from 3 workshops, we'll be able to get money to host this conference. So that means the clerk is doing everything possible to support what you are doing with very limited resources. So I want to urge you to make most of this opportunity and come up with points that can be, recommendations that can be actionable, that can be acted upon to make the Hansard Directorate at the national level and also at the county level a better directorate, a better function to support the legislature. We are listening. There's a bank called the Equity. It's called You Are Able Listening Partner. So the office of the clerk is listening to your concerns. Please structure your recommendations, bring them forward. Let's see what we can do together. I want to stop here. Wish you fruitful deliberation and officially declare this event officially open. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Njoroge. Thank you so very much, Madam Gladys Ndeda, and thank you very much, Dennis Mutui, and our Deputy Clerk, Mrs. Serah Kioko. We have come to an end of our opening session, and we proceed for a healthy break and a photo session led by Kelvin Lengasi, Vincent Nyamache, and Florence. Thank you very much.
That marks the end of session 1, which is the opening session, where we have welcoming remarks, conference objectives, terms of reference, and adoption of the conference program, which was done by Mr. George Wanyoko, the HAT president. We also had remarks by Ms. Njoroge, who is the director, Hansard and Audio Services from the National Assembly, followed by remarks by Ms. Gladys Ndeda, the counterpart from the Senate. Then the remarks by the host clerk, which was not done. Unfortunately, the representation was not there. Then we had representation from the chairman of SOCATT Kenya, Mr. Kamau Aidi, who was represented by the clerk, Machakos County. And finally, the keynote address and official opening, which was done by the deputy clerk of the National Assembly, Ms. Serah, on behalf of the clerk, Mr. Samwel Njoroge. We are now heading for a health break and a group photo. We will be back in the next session, which is session 2, strengthening accountability and transparency in legislators. Keep it here. Thank you very much.